I was thinking this would be a fun way for us to connect. So we're going to do weekly drawing lessons together. And our first lesson is going to be one that I'm bringing back. We did it, some of you did it a few years ago with me, and we had a lot of fun with it. So this lesson, we're going to call it, we're going on a road trip. So we're going to draw a Volkswagen van, and we're going to have fun decorating the van, and we're also going to create a landscape, possibly something that you're missing right now, the beach, going to the mountains, visiting people. So let's get started. For this project, you're going to need two things. And I know some of you don't have tons of art supplies at home, so if you could try to find a pencil with an eraser and a black pen. If you don't have a black pen, it could be a dark marker or anything like that. And if you don't have any markers, just use the pencil. So let's get started. The first thing with drawing a van is the shape of the van. And I want you to think the shape of the van, it's kind of silly, but we're gonna think of it as a loaf of bread, okay? So I'm gonna start now by drawing my loaf of bread. I'm gonna start with the top of my bread. It's gonna be a little arched top of my bread. And I'm gonna come down here with the side of my bread. Just gonna kind of come out a little bit. I'm gonna go to the back of my loaf of bread, and I'm going to bring my line down. Now, one thing that we need to always remember in art is try in your eyes to make sure this and this are somewhat equal, so the van isn't lopsided. All right, I'm gonna finish my loaf of bread with the bottom, and I'm just gonna connect it like that. All right, there we go. So now we have a nice loaf of bread. Now, let's start constructing our van. I'm gonna start with the front of the van, okay? So right here in the front of the van, I am going to right here make the front bumper, right there, front bumper. And I'm gonna go on top of my bread shape and define my shapes a little more. Now, above the bumper, we're gonna make the light. Now we're looking at the side of the van, so the light, we're just gonna see a little bit of the light, and it's gonna be a little half circle above the bumper. Now we're gonna move up. And in this area, we're gonna create just a little teeny bit of the front windshield. You don't really see that much in this because we're looking at the side, but we're gonna create a little bit of the front windshield. All right, so let's move on. So now I have the bumper, the light, and the front windshield. Let's create some windows in our van. Now the windows are going to come off this front windshield, and we're gonna create it in this space. So my first window is, like if you're in a car, it's the front, in the front of the car, it's the side window. So I'm going to create a window, which is going to be the shape kind of like a rectangle shape. And boys and girls, this doesn't have to be perfect. Just have fun with this. Don't worry about things being perfect. Just do your best. All right, I got my front windshield in. Now, in a van, a Volkswagen van, which they don't really make anymore. They have a new version of the Volkswagen van that's pretty retro, if you ask me. It's pretty cool. It's nothing like the old Volkswagen vans, but you can still see them around. So look for them when you're out, especially at the beach. So the next window is going to be next to it, and I'm going to create my next window. Now I am going to try to make the shape of my window the same length as the top and the bottom, so we have some symmetry here. Okay, and I got window number 2, and let's make one more window in the back. Now these Volkswagen vans, I had one growing up, and they were so much fun. I mean, they're really just people movers. We have more modern ones nowadays, but some of them had little kitchens in them. They had little couches in the back of them. They were great for road trips, going to the movies. A lot of people used to take all their friends and go to the beach or go to concerts, so a lot of fun. Okay, so now I have my 3 and 4 small windows. So right here in the back, I'm going to create a little vent because, make believe, in my van, I have a little kitchen. So there's a little back vent in my Volkswagen van. All right. Now, after we create this first part, I am going to create just a little line that goes on the very top of the van. Some of these Volkswagens would have, some of them would just be white up here, but you'll see we're gonna make this van a lot of fun, and we're gonna decorate it up. So we'll keep that clear for now and just make a little line that goes on the top. Later, we're gonna create some surfboards on the top of our van, or maybe you want some luggage. Maybe you're going on a long road trip. Okay, so now we're gonna move down to the doors and the wheels. Let's start with the wheels. So I'm gonna come off this bumper, and I'm going to, off this bumper, I'm gonna come down just a little bit, and I'm gonna create an area right here. And I'm going to create an area in the back of my van right here. And that's where I'm going to create my wheels. So now I'm going to put some wheels in. Now, if you have an eraser, you can erase this area right here, because you don't need that line anymore. And in these areas, I'm going to create 2 wheels. So I'm going to come into this area, and I'm going to create a circle. Best circle I can. As I said, doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to have fun with this. And then I'm going to come to this next section, and I'm going to create another circle. All right. Now I have a circle, but I need some rims for my van. And this is another area in your Volkswagen bus that you can have fun with creating designs. I mean, you can do anything in those rims. You can make peace signs, yin and yang, hearts, you name it. And I'm going to come over here and make another circle. And that's going to be my rim. Now, I'm going to create some bolts that are going to go, little circles in there. They're going to go around it, some bolts, bolting in my rims. Okay, so let's move on. Now we're going to create a few doors on our Volkswagen van. And so I'm just going to come right here under the first window, and I'm going to kind of outline it a little bit. I'm going to come down. I'm going to follow this area. And this is actually going to be a door. And you just see the outer edge that opens. I'll put a little handle on it. Okay, so you can get in the car. Also in these vans, there's another door that usually opens over this middle section. So we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to create an outline that kind of goes around this window. I'm going to just take it down to the bottom, and that's another door that we can open to get in our van. Okay, now I know that when I have most cars right here, they have a little mirror, so you can see what's going on behind you and around you when you're driving. So I'm going to create a little mirror right here next to that first window. So I just created a circle and a line and a solid circle. So a mirror shape would be great right here. All right, so I'm going to look at my van and I'm going to think, how can I add a few more fun details? Well, I have a front bumper, so I'm going to come off this a little bit, and I'm going to add a back bumper I'm gonna erase this line right here because I don't need it anymore. Okay, so there's a back bumper. And I was thinking, you know what would be fun? How about a little exhaust pipe right here? A little exhaust pipe. And I'm gonna have a little steam coming out of my bus. It's going fast right now on its road trip. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna add one more thing before I start really decorating this bus. I'm gonna add a roof rack and a surfboard. So I'm gonna come up here. Remember that line that we created earlier right here? I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna attach, just by adding two little lines up here. I'm gonna take this a little bit above the roof of my van right here, okay? And I'm gonna attach a surfboard. So we're looking at a surfboard from the side of it. So I'm just gonna take a shape, something like that. Almost looks like a worm. And then I'm gonna add, to make it look like a surfboard, I'm gonna add a fin on the back. Kind of like we're drawing a shark or something. So now I have my surfboard. And honestly, you can add anything up here on the top. You could add luggage, you could add a basket full of stuff, anything that you think that you might want to take on your road trip. I've even seen kids draw a bicycle on top because they want to take their bike on the road trip. So this is all stuff that you can customize. I'm going to come here right at the wheel line, and I'm going to make a line straight across, and I'm going to put that VW bus on the road. Okay, boys and girls. So this is where you're at about now. Now I'm going to flip to one that I've done a little bit more work on, just to show you how you take your van and how you have fun with decorating it. So I'm going to flip now to one that I've been working on, and I'm still working on it. So it's in progress, but now you can see how I'm having fun with this project now. And this is where I want you to be creative, and you can decorate your van the way you want. So I now have my black pen, and I'm using a felt pen that some of us were using in art class. Felt pens are great, but if you don't have a felt pen, any pen will work for this project. And I'm just gonna, you can see once you start outlining, it really starts bringing out your van. So there's my 3 windows. I am gonna put some mirror, some window, like just give it like it has a little reflection on it, just to make it more fun. And I'm gonna show you what I did. I used my pencil, and I actually shaded in this area a little bit, and shaded in this area a little bit. And I put little peace signs in my rims. You can do whatever you want, or you could just leave bolts, whatever you want to do. Another thing that I did to add a little bit more character to my bus is from this back bumper, I kind of went around it and added this line right here, just to give it a little more character. That's optional. Another thing that I did is I added, like we have that front light right here, I added a light back here, and I just make a little light coming off like this. So I now would spend some time decorating and outlining that VW bus. Now I made mine kind of hippy dippy, peace and love, and I do have a little hidden message for you in here. I hope that you find it. It's right in this section. Yes, I do miss you guys. So I am just going to have a little fun outlining, and I am going to add flowers, and you can add anything you want. Now I am even going to add my favorite band on this. So my favorite band, and some of you may know this, is U2. It's Miss Kris's favorite rock and roll band. So I'm putting U2 right there. I'm putting the word love. I'm doing like bubble letters. You don't have to do any letters if you want. You could just make it images, anything you want to do. I made a sunshine with rays. I'm just looking at this bus as very uplifting and going to a happy, fun place. And I can't wait to take a road trip after we get back to our normal lives. I just can't wait. It's going to be fun. So, boys and girls, I also am making a background, and mine's pretty crazy. I am putting some wave designs back here, symbolizing the beach, because I am missing going to the beach right now. Oh, here comes Frank. Frank, say hi. Here's Frank. Frank, my cat. And I am going to put some palm tree right here. There's Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hello.
What do you want to do? Mess up my drawing, Frank?
Yeah.
So anyways, kids, this is a project that I want you to try. And I know for some of the younger students, it'll be hard. So go slow and pause it through the steps. And give it your best shot and draw a bus and make it your own fun bus and decorate it the way you want to decorate it. Remember, it starts with the shape of bread. Okay, shape of the bread. Then we're going to add some, the front bumper. You can add the back bumper at the same time. You got your windows, and you've got your little side mirror, your wheels. Remember, make the area so the wheels can fit inside. And then after you get the bus down the way you like it, then you're gonna go into it and you're gonna decorate it. So for those of you that have markers at home, these are really fun projects when they have color in them. So you can go and add color to this as well. Oh, here's my little message. I'm gonna make that dark so we can see that. Okay, so anyways, going on a road trip. And I hope this is helpful that I do these little videos with you. Give me some feedback. Let me know if you like this, because I will continue to make more if you do. I was thinking of doing next week Baby Yoda. I thought that would be really fun for us all. Something funny. So boys and girls, after you do this, if you can, send me a picture on Schoology, and then I can give you some feedback and we can talk on Schoology and connect with this project. Give yourself a week to do this and have fun with it. And if you can, I mean, if you need a picture to look at, look up some VW buses on the internet so you can really see what they look like. And enjoy this. And have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.